Hello and welcome to the latest episode. Today we are going to talk about fixing MLB's attendance problem, or if it even can be fixed at this point or improved. So now, MLB is coming off one of its worst attended seasons in quite a long time. There was obviously some bounce back since COVID, but it has not bounced back in the way that they probably hoped it would. And really the trends of everything at this point say that it's going to continue. So I've already talked about why this has been happening, but the question is what can be done specifically to improve attendance numbers? Well, first off, MLB is taking a step in the right direction with shortening games with the pitch clock. I believe shortening the games via pitch clock is a smart move. We'll see how much it shortens games, but I believe it's going to take a little bit more than that to improve attendance. And my first suggestion would be to shorten the season. Now the season now is 162 games. I would suggest something like 148 games. They probably would want to go with something like 154. But the reason I think having less games would help the situation is these games cost money to put on. It's not like it's just free for them to have as many games as they want. The more games, you have employees, you have to pay the players for the time, a lot of expense that goes into the games. So if you have less games, that's less expense. And for most teams in April or even March now, the crowds just don't justify the means that are being put into it. I mean, why are we having these extra games if there's only going to be 8,000 to 12,000 fans in attendance in half these ballparks? And the truth is they're doing it for TV. But, as many of you know, MLB's TV infrastructure with cable is collapsing. Sports has made money for a very long time, getting a lot of people that don't watch it to pay for it via the bundles on their cable bill. But at this point, so many people have dropped cable that it is really just a dead medium to get money anymore for baseball or a lot of things. Yet the rights deals just keep going up and up and up and up, and there's no adjustment for the loss in viewership, the loss in cable subscribers, and the loss in attendance. So that is exactly why we are where we are. The cable companies are probably most likely losing a lot of ad revenue, and the ends are no longer justifying the means. The best thing that they could probably do to that end is switch to a single payer model where people that actually want to watch the games pay for the games separately, or they're included on some type of sports package that's cheaper than standard cable at this point. But going back to attendance, I think if more of the games were on free TV or antenna TV available for people to, consume and get into it and have a rooting interest, it might bring more people to the ballpark. But I think if they reduce the amount of games in a season, they could get rid of all the games that are in the coldest part of the year in early April and late March, and that would cause more people to go to games during the warmer times of the year. So you'd just be moving attendance from games early in the year to having more crowded games when the weather's nice. It's not necessarily they would take a huge hit at the gate, except for maybe the select few teams that sell out nearly every game or get close to selling out every game. Also, less games means that each game means a little more. That's part of why the NFL thrives so well, is that the games mean a lot. Now, having 14 less games wouldn't make the games worth way more, but it would make each one worth a little more. I also think giving people an option where they don't have to pay these ridiculous fees would help as well. I mean, it used to be you went to the gate to avoid, you didn't have to pay fees at the gate. Well, now you can't buy tickets at the gate, and even if you can, or if you get them at the team shop before the game, they still charge you the fees. It's completely ridiculous. Any way that you could add more value to the buyer would improve the situation, because of people in comments to my videos, they say price has become one of the biggest turnoffs to going to these games anymore. And I get it, it's a ballpark. They're going to charge more than what you'd pay for something outside, but the margins on beer or food or whatever it is have gotten so crazy, I think it just starts to turn people away. I don't necessarily think that the stadium experience is really going to make much of a difference. I know they're adding all these social areas to get more money out of the customer, but I mean, that's kind of just going to improve the experience of those that go, but it could bring people back. But I feel like, the social spaces and bars and things that they've added to stadiums have kind of reached a point of diminishing return. So in all, more availability to the average fan through more free games to watch. It doesn't have to be the majority of the season or anything. Less games to make the games more important and to push attendance into the warmer months of the year, and to also save costs on having to host games where just not a lot of people are going, and giving people more value back for the entertainment experience, whether that's through concessions or promotions. It's become a game where it's just not a value to go anymore. The league has to adjust to changes in trends or revenue, or it's just going to keep declining. Now, let me know what you think. Do you think there are other ways that they could improve their attendance situation? Let me know in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching.